The what?
Montevilla. What were you saying, Montevilla? Or
Manzanilla.
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 Manzanilla, okay.
Alrighty, so whenever we're ready, we'll get our comfortable seated position, creating our tall spine. Let our shoulders relax. You can sit however you feel comfortable. We're going to think about the breath. Noticing the breath traveling from our nose towards the belly. Relaxing our breath out of our belly, out of our nose. You can continue with the relaxing breathing pattern, or we might even think about breathing through the throat with the mouth closed. We'll inhale through the nose. And then imagining like we're fogging up a mirror, but with our mouth closed. So you feel that deep, resonating breath through the throat. So inhale. Exhaling out that Ujjayi breath. It's a little calming breath, helping to center our mind, our body as we begin our practice today. And we can continue the Ujjayi breath throughout our practice, or you can find any calming breath that feels comfortable. With our spine growing tall, feel an ear release towards the shoulder, and allowing the side of the neck to stretch open as we breathe. Inhaling, lengthening tall, we can exhale, relax over towards the other side. So we lift up tall, sliding our shoulder blades up and down just a few times. With our shoulders relaxing, our palms float up to the sky as we inhale. Exhaling, drawing thumbs down to the heart. Inhaling, lengthening tall. And exhaling, traveling down. Let's find one more breath. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, relaxing. Sliding one arm up towards the sky. Feel the ribs grow tall. Tailbone grounds. Let's slide the arm over. Find as much reach as our body allows. Feeling lean. Let's straighten. Send the other arm up. And then maybe it over. Stretch through the hips and the shoulders. Finding neutral. Let's inhale and pull the heart up to the sky. As we exhale, rotate through the lower belly. Release the hands where it feels comfortable. Creating length and rotation wherever you feel a good stretch. Finding center. Let's inhale, stretch up tall. Exhale, rotating towards the other side. Relax through the breath, lifting and releasing. As we feel our neutral spine, let's inhale, draw the heart to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs to the heart. Then resting our hands, maybe we relax our hands on our knees or the floor, you can choose. Wiggle out the shoulders just a bit. Then we're going to think about our ribs lifting up to the sky. The ribs drawing over towards one thigh. Scooping through the middle towards the other thigh, and then back tall. Continuing the circling movement. Squeezing over to one side, all the way through the other side. And we're allowing our bodies to find any range of motion, any pace of movement that feels the best today. Just a little relaxation through our spine, the hips. As we come tall, we'd like to trade the direction. We can send the ribs towards the other thigh and pull back up in the opposite direction. Feeling just a little flowing movement as we breathe. As we find our stillness in the center, resting through the shoulders. Pulling our bodies to all fours, relaxing the wrists under shoulders, the knees under hips, creating our neutral spine. Letting the inhale slide our heart forward as we open to cow. Our exhale pulls the ribs up to the sky as we fold into cat. Flowing the spine as we breathe. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. Feeling just any range of motion here. Our body feels good about allowing our breath to guide the pace of the movement. Maybe noticing a little wiggling, releasing out of the spine, the shoulders, the hips as we breathe. And we're welcome to continue the cat and cow flow. We can find neutral spine and add some side-to-side movements, sliding shoulders towards the hips on one side, shoulders towards the hips on the other side. Feeling just a little release, side to side as we breathe. As we guide our bodies into an evenness, feel the grounding through the fingertips, the lift through the lower belly, the inner thighs engage. neutral line, stretching the right heel out from our hip. Option to slide the left fingers out from our shoulder and noticing that length through the body. Everything reaching towards the midline helps us find more stability as we breathe. Resting that side down, let's trade, extending through the left, reaching through the right arm, finding that length and engagement through the midline of the body. Resting that side down, releasing into any variation of child's pose, resting the heart, the ribs, the shoulders, the head, the neck in stillness. Option to slide the arms to one side, feeling the ribs and side body opening. We can feel neutral and stretch to the other side. As we return to neutral, continuing our child's pose, or feel grounding and lifting into our downward dog. Fingertips grounding, balls of the feet grounding. Knees can be bent or legs can reach towards straight, or we can find some movement, traveling one thigh towards the ribs, the other thigh towards the back of the leg. Continuing the flowing movement in our legs as we walk our feet up towards our hands, resting in our body's forward fold. Fingertips resting on the ground on the shins or the thighs. Let's feel a little relaxation. Maybe our body rests with gravity. Maybe our head and neck flows a little up and down. Maybe a little release side to side. Maybe a little up and down again. Our inhale guides us up halfway. Planting our heels, inhaling, lifting the heart towards the sky. Drawing one arm a little taller, the other arm a little taller. Feel a little reach in our side body. Both arms traveling up to the sky, opening the lungs. Exhaling into an airplane, picking up the lower belly, creating length through the spine, softening the knees or lengthening the legs. Lift through the lower belly, folding our heart towards our thighs, shoulders relaxed. Sending the right knee behind us, resting the knee in the toe. Arms where we feel stable. Inhaling, guiding our heart forward. Exhaling, relaxing our hips back. Continuing in either option or feeling that flowing movement back and forth. Finding a little stretch and release as we breathe. We can keep the movement flowing. We're welcome to find a place of stillness just for a couple of breaths. Our inhale pulls our heart open. Exhaling into child's pose. Finding a moment of rest and stillness. Continuing here, sliding into our kneeling plank, creating our stable tall spine. Hanging out or folding with control. Letting our inhale lift the heart open. Our exhale return the hips back. Taking a moment to breathe. As we're ready, the right toes travel into our lunge, resting the heel under the knee. Arms where we feel stable. Let's feel the heart drawing forward with our inhale. The hips and the thighs releasing back as we exhale. Continuing in either option or continuing the flow. Reaching and relaxing wherever. Really good for resting, stretch today. Feeling peace and release through each breath. Continuing our movements. If you want to find a place to hang out for a couple of breaths. Create a little release through our spine, our hips, our thighs. Allowing that next inhale to send our heart forward, guiding our back toes towards the front toes, resting in our body's forward fold. Inhaling as we stretch up halfway, planting the heels, inhaling, lifting the heart all the way, and then exhaling, relaxing thumbs to the heart. Pressing into the midline of the body, pull the lower belly in. Feel the ribs roll to one side and keep the elbows bent or extend the arms towards straight. Creating neutral in the center. Stretching and reaching to the other side. Back to neutral. Just a little flowing side to side, leading through the ribs. Finding grounding through the heels. I'll just take maybe one more each side. As our body finds some evenness, planting the palms. Pushing our tailbone back to chair, lower belly comes in, wiggling our toes, just a moment to breathe. heart towards the thighs, fingertips resting, or you can relax the forearms together and the shoulders, head and neck release. Sending the left toes behind us, finding the lunge of our choice, back knee lifted or lowered. We can feel the left palm grounding under the left shoulder, the right palm grounding on top of the right thigh. Thinking about the back of the head and the back of the thigh actively lengthening away from each other. Staying here or rotating the ribs to the front thigh. Staying here or extending through the shoulders and finding that length through the arms. Returning to child's pose or downward dog. Enjoying a moment of rest. Continuing to relax or inhaling through plank or kneeling plank. Finding stability. Option to fold the elbows towards the ribs. Inhaling, heart expands. Exhaling, hips release. Feeling just a moment to breathe. Resting into our exhales. Helping that left foot travel into our lunge again. Find that grounding and centering with the right palm under the shoulder. Left palm on the thigh. Lengthen to begin. And then rotate through the ribs towards the front thigh with the option to extend the shoulders and the fingers pulling in opposite directions. Returning fingers to the ground, back toe finds the front toe, returning to our forward fold of choice. Inhaling as we lift up halfway, grounding the heels, let's inhale, lift up all the way, exhaling palms to heart. So we're going to have a few options here. First option is palms at the heart, tailbone back to chair. Second option, send the arms, the right arm under the left, your fingertips can find the shoulders, back of the hands or palms, any variation of eagle arms. Feel the shoulder blades resting, and then the elbows widen out. So again, you can stay heels under hips, or as your left foot takes on more weight, the right knee can bend, or the right thigh can stack on top of the left thigh. If you're feeling pretty good in your balance today, you can lift, but we're going to be moving, so it might feel more stable to keep the top toes grounded to the floor. With our inhale, option to lift the heart and the elbows towards the sky. With the exhale, feel the tailbone reaching back, elbows reaching towards the thigh. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, folding in. Try just a few more breaths. Feeling lift, release, allowing our breath to guide our body's movements. Maybe we find just one more. Now the next time our elbows lift, feel them reaching out from our shoulders, grounding through the bottom line, squeezing through the top thigh, and then sending the top foot behind us, grounding the heel, allowing the front knee to stack over the heel of the front leg. Then with our next inhale, we can travel the elbows and the heart towards the sky as far as our head and neck feel stable. As we lengthen our spine tall, our arms travel out to our sides and we begin to roll. Rolling through the wrist, through the elbows, through the shoulders. Relaxing the thumbs in, option to release the back of the hands at the lower back. We can stack one arm over the other. You can interlace the fingers and stretch the knuckles towards the ground and the shoulder blades together. So whatever our arms are feeling good about, this front knee can stay bent, front leg can stretch towards straight, squeeze through the inner thighs, finding stability, inhaling and guiding our heart open. Exhale, hinging the heart as far as it wants to go. Inhale, lift, back up. Exhale, reaching, maybe a couple of inches, maybe towards the thigh. We're going to feel just a few more breaths. Traveling open, releasing forward. Feeling stability through the thighs, through the belly. Continuing to breathe. Now the next time we lift our chest up, whatever the arms are doing, maybe give me some big circling movements. You're welcome to trade the direction of the circles. Now from here, we're going to slide the palms at the heart. Front knee bends the heel over the knee. You can have the option to keep the back heel on the ground. You can add a little bit more balance challenge and lengthen out the back leg, lifting the back heel into our lunge. For a little less intensity, we can relax the back knee. So anywhere along the way where we're feeling pretty stable, squeeze everything to the midline, then rotating ribs and elbows towards one side, back to neutral, rotating ribs and elbows to the other side, back to neutral. Find a little flow, side to side, stretching through our breath. Great job. Now the next time we turn our bodies towards the front thigh, having some options, we can keep elbows floating, hands can rest, front forearm can find a little bit more leverage, front elbow can find more leverage, maybe allowing the back palm to find the front palm and send the heart deeper to the thumbs. Take a couple of deep breaths wherever our body's feeling like twisting at the moment. Reaching fingertips to the ground with the back knee up or down. Our body's choice, stretching our front leg towards straight, does not have to completely lengthen. Feeling a little release through our front thigh and hip, resting through our breath. As we return to our lunge, maybe sliding back to child's pose or downward dog or any other variation of a restful posture we're feeling like at the moment. Always welcoming stillness and rest, or maybe we're flowing, creating our plank, our kneeling plank to stay, or exhaling with control, elbows to the ribs, inhaling, lungs lifting, exhaling, hips resting. Finding our body's place of relaxation as we breathe. Few resting exhales. Sending our feet back into our hands, returning to our body's forward fold. Fingertips on the floor, the shins or the thighs. Finding that space that maybe our head and neck can flow up and down. Maybe the head and neck flows a bit side to side. Maybe a little up and down again. Our inhale pulls us up halfway. Grounding the heels, inhale, reaching all the way towards the sky. Lifting the lungs, exhaling, palms to heart. So we're going to try that on the other side. So as we feel the palms grounding, I allow the right foot to take on more weight. And keep palms at the heart. You can slide now the left arm under the right. Same options, fingers at the shoulders, back of the hands or palms, shoulders resting, elbows widening. Just the front knee bent, or the top thigh, left thigh over the right. You can keep the toes down. Let's lift the heart on the inhale. Exhaling, elbows towards the thighs. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, folding in. Try just a few more breaths. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, releasing. Feeling any range of motion. Letting our body's breath guide our body's movement. Now the next time we feel our elbows lift tall, feel that bottom leg taking on more weight. The top thigh floats up, and then we're reaching the top leg back, resting the heel, hips and heart stretching forward. Inner thighs, lower belly kick in as our inhale pulls the heart as far to the sky as our head and neck feels stable with our breath. Feeling that tall spine, stretching the arms out to our side, and find a little flowing movement through the elbows, the wrists, the shoulders. We'll release as we breathe. And then again, as our thumbs come in, the back of the hands can relax. The forearms can stack, maybe the other one on top. If we're interlacing, maybe the other thumb on top. It will feel weird. We'll squeeze our shoulders towards each other. Feel the knuckles stretch to the ground. The front knee can be bent or towards straight, squeezing in through the inner thigh, lower belly. Feeling our flowing movement. Inhaling, heart towards the sky. Exhale, hinging as far forward as we feel stable. Keep flowing with our breath. Inhale, opening. Exhaling, folding. Stretching and resting as we breathe. Ribs grow tall, relaxing the arms, maybe adding some circles. Staying in that direction, or we can trade the direction of our circles. And then joining the palms at the heart. So again, our leg options are this front knee bending over the heel. We can extend the back leg further, a little bit more balance challenge. Least amount of intensity need to the ground. So we get to choose where we feel stable. Squeezing everything to the midline. Let's rotate elbows towards one leg. Back to neutral. Elbows floating to the other leg. Good. Just a little rotation, side to side. Great job. Now the next time, twist towards the front leg, get stable. And send our elbows to the rib, or thumbs to the ribs, or hands to the hips, or forearm, or elbow. Back hand can find the front if that's an option that works the best. Taking a moment to breathe our heart towards our hands and relaxing through our exhales. Just a moment to release through our breath. Releasing our fingertips towards the ground, stretching our front leg towards straight. Back knee can be lifted or lowered, whichever one our bodies are feeling the best about at the moment. Breathing, releasing and resting the thighs, the hips, the back, the shoulders. As we feel the body returning to our lunge, grounding back to child's pose or downward dog, allowing rest and relaxation. If our body feels like moving, we're welcome to inhale, finding our plank or kneeling plank to stay. Maybe our elbows fold towards our ribs with control, inhaling, expanding the lungs, and then exhaling, resting back. Finding just a few releasing breaths. Giving our body a moment to rest. Helping our feet return to our hands, relaxing in our bodies, forward fold. Fingertips to the ground, the shin and the thighs. Finding that place of relaxation. Maybe we flow the head and neck up and down a few times. Maybe a little side to side a few times. Maybe a little up and down again. Let's inhale up halfway. Grounding our heels. Inhaling arms towards the sky, heart towards the ceiling. Resting the arms. Maybe adding a little flow. Shoulders, ribs, lower back off, and a little release. And as we're ready, finding a place for grounding into our tree pose, planting through one foot, allowing the other thigh to reach forward or outer hip can open. Let's feel inner thigh engagement. Pelvic floor lifts up through the ribs. Feel the engagement through the whole center line of the body as we reach and find our spot to focus on that's not moving. As we feel grounding in the standing leg, we have the option to float the bent knee toe or rest the bent knee foot or slide it into the thigh, avoiding pressure on our joints. Palms at the heart, palms at the side, off for the shoulders, or towards the sky, continuing to rest through our breath. grounding through the other thigh. Knee joint softens. The other thigh can be forward or open. Reaching in and up, feeling stability, feeling centered. Toe can stay or float. Finding inner thigh or calf engagement with our heel. Trying to avoid pressure on our joint. As our midline feels stabilized, maybe the palms rest or stretch out or extend towards the sky. Continuing to breathe, finding peace through our breath. Relaxation. Let's release our joints a bit. Then we're going to move into maybe a variation of Warrior 3. So the other foot's taking on the weight. The other foot that's not taking on the weight reaches back. So maybe some arm options are palms at the heart, hands at the hips, arms to the side, arms over the head. You can interlace, or we can return to those eagle arms, wherever you're feeling stable. As the front foot takes on more weight, the back toe can float, or we can actively extend through the back of the heel, the back of the head. We can continue more of a diagonal line, or as we're feeling strong and stable, squeezing into the midline of the body, we have the option to keep folding. Maybe we find a place of parallel and stay. Maybe we reverse our diagonal and feel the top of the head reaching towards the ground and the back heel reaching towards the sky. Take a few deep breaths. Any variation our bodies agree with at the moment. Send our spine tall. Remember which arm you had if you did the eagle arms. I want to shake it out. And then we'll trade sides. So the other foot takes on the weight, the other foot reaches back. You're doing the eagle arm, trade the other arm. Or you don't have to do the same thing. You can do something totally different with your arms. You get to choose. So as our front foot takes on more weight, maybe we just rest on the back toes. Maybe we float. We can extend the back of the heel, the back of the head. Keep squeezing to the midline as our body hinges towards parallel, or continues to hinge in that reverse diagonal line with the top of the head reaching towards the ground and the back heel reaching towards the sky. We're breathing, taking just a few deep breaths. Our spine, unraveling anything and shaking it all out. Give our ankles, our wrists, all a little release. Finding ourselves at the front of our mat, opening our lungs with our inhales, swan diving through the exhales, reaching to either all fours or downward dog. If we're in downward dog or all fours, you can extend one leg out, and then maybe extend the other leg out, feeling. Lean through one side and lean through the other side a few times. Option for a three-legged dog with the right toes traveling up to the sky, helping our right knee draw up towards the right wrist. The back knee can relax where it's at. We can use the back toes to send the tailbone closer towards the ground. Hands can stay or walk in and pull the heart open, lifting the lungs, staying still. Or hinging towards the diagonal, or folding and relaxing. Finding a moment of rest and peace as we breathe, guiding our breath into any place our bodies might be finding any extra sensations today. Noticing peace and rest as we relax through our breath, resting into each exhale. Sending our ribs back open, the lungs expand, reaching the heart tall. Planting the palms, the back toe, returning the front foot back where we started, wherever that is for our bodies. As we're ready to trade sides, the other leg can reach out, sending that knee up towards the wrist, relaxing the back knee, maybe sending the tailbone towards the ground, feeling the heart expanding. As we inhale, we can exhale to the diagonal or roll around and release. Feeling whatever our bodies allow on this side. Sometimes one side can feel a little different from the other side. We get to examine how our bodies are different, finding rest and relaxation through our hips, our ribs, our lower back, continuing to allow our breath find peace and rest with each exhale. Reaching up our lungs with that next inhale, finding reach through our front side bodies. Planting the palms, the back toes, traveling the front toes back where we started, wherever that is for our bodies. And then we're finding a moment to rest in child's pose. With our knees bent, our arms can stay forward, our hands can rest under the forehead, our fingertips can travel towards our heels, feeling a moment of rest and peace as we breathe, relaxing into our breath. With our inhale, guiding our spine tall, we're allowing our tailbone to feel the ground, our legs extend, and maybe find a little rolling side to side, rolling through the heels up to the hips. With our tailbone relaxing, the spine growing tall, let's slide one heel in as far as the knee wants to bend, feeling the sole of the foot on the ground and the spine lifting as tall as we feel good stretch. So we can stay ribs neutral. We think about our ribs lifting, that exhale pulls the belly button to the bent knee. Staying here, keep flowing. Inhale, lifting, exhale, rotating. Finding lift, finding reach. Just a few stretching breaths. We can continue more of a hugging action with the top thigh. You can feel the forearm finding through leverage, or the elbow reaching towards the outer thigh as we release through the breath, keeping the heart lengthening, the belly reaching. Keep breathing. Rotating our bodies back to neutral. Let's trade sides. So the bent knee lengthens, the straight leg bends, allowing the sole of the foot to feel the ground. Again, we can just hug and lengthen in neutral. With the ribs lifting, we can turn the belly button towards the bent knee. Maybe continue to lift, maybe continue to twist. Continuing to hold on, you can find grounding as that backhand feels the floor. You can use the forearm or the elbow to travel outside the thigh and feel a little release as we stretch through our breath. rotate our ribs up to neutral. We're letting both legs bend. Find a little flowing movement with our spine. So inhaling, pressing the heart towards the sky. Exhaling, folding the ribs and the chin in. Then we're inhaling, expanding, exhaling, folding. Take a couple more breaths. Reaching open, folding in. Reaching open, folding in. Now you're going to have the option to keep flowing through that seated cat-cow. With our spine tall, our shoulders squeezing back, heart opens. We have the option to float the toes up. Maybe as our lower belly kicks in, we float the heels up. Maybe the inner thighs kick in and we stretch through the legs. Continuing to hold on or stretching out. Any variation of boat pose. Take a moment to breathe. Lifting the heart. Resting through the breath. We're going to slowly relax the legs, feeling a little length, rocking the legs a bit side to side. With our tailbone planted into the floor, top of the head reaches to the sky, lengthening through the fingertips, shoulder blades resting. And we'll feel pull through the ribs, so lift the spine tall. Exhale to a diagonal. Keep pushing the tailbone towards the ground, the top of the head forward. We can stay. Or lift through the lower belly and exhale. Maybe fold a little bit. And keep opening the heart. Maybe resting a little bit more. Finding the place our bodies feel like settling, relaxing the fingertips towards the ground, the heart towards the thighs. Head and neck can release wherever our bodies are feeling stable in this stretch. If at any time in a forward folding movement we feel any uncomfortableness in our lower back, we always have the option to bend the knees, and that will almost immediately take away some of those extra sensations as we relax through our exhales. And our next inhale travels the spine tall, the shoulders relax. Our feet travel to the front of our mat, making some space so we can recline behind us. Inner thighs kicking in, lower belly kicking in, holding on or reaching out as we feel that controlling release as our lower back, our ribs, our shoulders, our head and neck rest to the ground. Arms can relax by our side or extend over the head. Legs can be bent or straight. Let the body choose where you'd like to be at the moment. If legs and arms are straight, maybe pulling the fingers and the toes in opposite directions. And then resting. Elbows resting, shoulders resting, hips releasing. Noticing stillness and peace in the body as we breathe. Maybe even trying to feel more of those Ujjayi breaths. If our bodies have found a place they want to stay, we're welcome to continue here or prepare for bridge pose, sliding our heels towards our hips, fingertips reaching towards the heels, noticing our shoulder blades wiggling a little closer together to find stability through the shoulders, the forearms, and the feet. Inner thighs help lift the hips and the heart towards the sky, feeling that openness as we inhale, feeling stability as we exhale, noticing where our bodies feel like expanding into the breath. Feel just a few more inhales and exhales. Releasing our spine towards the ground, planting through the forearms, traveling the toes up to the sky, feeling inner thigh, inner calf engagement as the toes reach towards the sky. As the lower back presses into the ground, maybe the arms widen out a bit to feel a little bit more grounding and stable. And we're going to let one toe reach up to the sky, one toe pulls towards the floor. And we'll trade the other toe to the sky, the other toe towards the floor, and feeling just a little flexion through our ankles as we breathe. As we feel a little evenness in our movement, maybe traveling both heels up to the sky as far as they want to go, and we'll feel a little bit more extension through the knee, length through the legs, allowing the tailbone, lower back to relax through our breath. So we're welcome to continue this legs up the imaginary wall as we feel the tailbone, lower back release, little mini inversion, allowing the heart to get more pumping action happening. So we're welcome to continue. If it feels okay, we'll add a little bit more hamstring stretch with our hands traveling to the back of the thighs. Heels press up to the sky as we inhale. Keeping the legs straight, we'll begin to exhale the thighs towards the rib cage. If we found some movement and it feels more stable to travel the hands towards the calves, that's available. With each exhale, if we find more movement, maybe our hands travel towards the feet, continuing to relax through the spine as we breathe, through that stretch in the back of our legs. Feeling peace, feeling rest through each breath. Allowing each exhale to find peace and rest. Just a few more breaths here. The legs up the wall, or this kind of a mini plow is what I call it. So if you'd rather go into a full plow, you can. It just won't be as much of a hamstring stretch. It'll be more of a lower back stretch. And then wherever we're at, we'd like to find our way into happy baby, sliding our knees towards the shoulders, hands on the thighs, the calves, or the feet. Feeling the grounding and the heaviness of our tailbone and our thighs, reaching towards the floor, enjoying a moment of stillness, or maybe finding some rocking movement side to side as we roll through our tailbone, roll through the lower back, the wrists, the shoulders, and breathe. Welcome to continue this rocking and releasing in our happy baby. If you like a little bit different stretch, you can reach into a straddle with our legs extending out to the side in a V, tailbone resting to the ground. Again, we can find stillness, or we can create a little rocking movement side to side and relax into our breath. And then wherever we're at, if you'd like a little bit of a butterfly, sending the soles of the feet together, hands hanging onto the toes or the shins, and as our exhale relaxes our thighs away from the body, we feel the heels sinking down, maybe a little closer towards our hips, finding the stretch that our bodies cooperate with the best today, and feel just a moment of peace and relaxation here with each exhale. Joining the knees together, relaxing the soles of the feet onto the floor, resting our arms by our side. So we're welcome to continue just relaxing our spine into the ground. You can plant the heels, lift up the tailbone, travel the tailbone over to the right side of the mat, releasing our knees to the left side of the mat as we feel our spine twist. You can gaze away from the knees and allow the entire spine to be part of the rotation. If we found too many extra sensations through this top outer thigh, we just lift that top knee up towards the sky, and it will release a lot of those extra sensations. If we need more sensation, using our hands to travel the thighs closer towards the ground as we feel that release through our hips, our shoulders, and continuing to breathe. Finding rest and peace through each relaxing breath. rotation on this side, we'll just hang out. If we'd like to trade sides, our knees draw back to neutral, the lower back relax to the ground, feeling a little centering, rest in the center. As we're ready to trade sides, plant through the heels to lift the tailbone over to the left, releasing our knees towards the right, allowing the gaze to be away from our knees. And if we found too many extra sensations that just aren't cooperating with our body today, the top thigh can lift further to the sky. If we need more, we send the hand to the thigh and draw it deeper towards the ground. So our bodies get to choose wherever we're feeling like resting through the breath. Feeling our breath, finding peace, finding rest and calm through each exhale. We found evenness in our bodies, returning our knees to the sky, tailbone towards center line of the body, and find a moment of rest. So from here, if it feels okay, we can slide the feet wide to the sides of the mat, maybe even add some windshield wipering movements, flowing our thighs to one side, then to the other side. We can stay with the windshield wipering movements. Our bodies can travel into any other place of relaxation or movement our body needs before we can find a place of stillness and focusing on our breath. So anytime our bodies are ready for stillness, our feet can stay wide, our knees can stay together, tailbone, lower back, feel the ground. Maybe the soles of the feet stretch towards each other, finding a little bit more passive release of our thighs and hips opening to the sky in our reclined butterfly. Maybe we find a more traditional final relaxation with our legs extended, our feet open, our palm open, our shoulders finding peace as our neck and throat feel openness towards the sky. We're welcome to choose any relaxing breathing pattern our body feels like today. We can return to the Ujjayi breath we began at the beginning of class. We can imagine the breath traveling from the nose down into the belly. The breath releasing back out of the belly, back out of the nose. Maybe imagining it traveling down the center line of the body. We're welcome to find any resting breathing pattern if we're wanting a little bit more peace through the body. Maybe we add a few pauses in the breath. Having the option to inhale the body completely and pause. Exhaling the body completely, pause. Feeling that long inhalation, that long exhalation, draw in peace, release out all that stagnant air our bodies just don't need today. Feel a moment of rest, relaxation through each breath. Just noticing a little gentle relaxation with each exhale. Option to continue just as we are. Option to travel the breath into the fingers and the toes. Maybe finding some rest and relaxation through our hands, through our feet. Feeling peace through our wrists and our ankles. Welcoming any movements in our bodies at any time that Continuing to feel release as we breathe through the lower legs, lower arms. Relaxing through our knees, our elbows. Releasing through our thighs, our hips. Resting through the upper arms, shoulders. Traveling the breath into the spine. Finding rest through the tailbone. Release through the lower back. Rest through the ribs, the shoulders. Release through the neck, the back of the head. Again, continue as we are, maybe hugging our thighs to our chest, enjoying a moment of stillness, or allowing our inhales to pull the thighs away from the body, the exhales to draw the thighs towards the body, finding openness and release through the thighs, ribs, lower back, through our breath. We're welcome to keep flowing thighs up and down, or maybe add some circling movements with our knees on the ceiling, rolling through the tailbone, the lower back. Or circling, we're welcome to trade the direction of the circles, rolling the opposite direction, breathe. And then we're welcome to continue on our spine, or maybe our bodies fold over onto our side, resting our head into our hands or upper arms, and noticing a moment of release and rest through our breath. Pulling in our calming, peaceful breath through one side, allowing anything we just don't need today to release out through the other side into the ground, and feel a moment of rest and relaxation through our breath. Letting our bodies find a comfortable position to seat our tailbone into the ground, to reach the spine to the sky, and our shoulders to relax. Feeling openness in our palms with our inhale, traveling fingertips and maybe that chin up to the sky. Exhaling, chin and thumb down to the heart. Inhaling, reaching open. Exhaling, resting in. Finding one more breath, traveling open. Releasing down. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. Have an awesome Thursday or whatever day you online people are watching. I don't even know.